Hey everybody, that guy in that suit here. Before the video starts, make sure to go follow me on Instagram so you can get behind the scenes posts and also get early updates on when I upload to YouTube. Enjoy the video.
What is going on, everybody? It's that guy in that suit, aka Tyler. Back again with another video. It's kind of an odd spot we're sitting in here. The car is behind me today. I'm going to be showing you guys how to remove the drive shaft, take the transmission out. So this is going to be part of the transmission video. We have to take the drive shaft off. I've searched all over the place for this YouTube video. I haven't seen how to take the drive shaft off from both ends of the car. So we're taking it off from the transmission and from the rear end. So make sure to drop a like on this video so it gets up there and people can actually see how to do this instead of just taking the rear part of the drive shaft off. That kind of stuff drives me nuts. So yeah, I'm gonna hop right into it and I'll catch you guys in just a second when I go get stuff, socket, some size, breaker bar. Back end of the car is on the ground, so we're gonna see how hard it's gonna be to get to the ones that are on top, because there's 4 bolts in total, and then up there I have no idea how that works. I know you need to drain the transmission fluid. Alrighty, so you're gonna need where is it at? You're gonna need a 12. You guys can't really see that. You're gonna need a 12 millimeter, 12 point, I think. Pretty sure that's what that is, 12 point. This is impact, just had it lying around. So now I'm gonna see if I can get a big long breaker bar and an extension, and yeah, we'll see if I can get it apart. All right, we're back after like an hour. Depends on how high you have the car, really. If you're able to get it off. Breaker bar probably not gonna work. I ended up having to use this. I ended up having to use that. With that and that. If you have a 1/2-inch version of these, it's better. Make sure you use a strong extension, don't use a bad one. But I'm gonna take you guys under here really quickly. We'll see how this turns out. This might be a little hard to do. So I'm gonna point you guys up at the sky. So we're gonna go under here, pan. So what you're gonna do, I'm sure there's probably not supposed to be cobwebs in there, but you're gonna take those 4 off. And then, so the drive shaft sits obviously like here. I think you guys can see that. And then this end just pulls right out. It shouldn't be too pressurized, but that's just tranny fluid that's leaking out. So it'll just pull right out of that, just come right out. And mine's rusty, so I'm gonna sandblast it and probably paint it or have it powder coated. You know, while it's out, might as well make it look a little nice. I'm gonna pressure wash under here, make sure this is all clean. There's a lot of oil right here in this area. So yeah, sorry about that. Let me do this so you guys can actually see it. So that's what it looks like there. And then this side looks like that. Sorry, I'm having to like do this awkward vlogging angle here. So it looks like that there. This is the underside of the car. This is a coastal car, so it's actually not that bad. But you do not have to take the Y pipe off. But yeah, so that's how you take it off. Just slides out of this guy here. The drive shaft sits in there. And then you pull it out. About 40 pounds, maybe 30. Not too heavy. But yeah, so that is that. Now, I think I'm gonna start taking the transmission apart, or getting it to where I can take it out, not apart. Between some year they switch from internally to externally balanced, or vice versa.
2000.
Okay, March of 2000. So you're gonna want to look that up and make sure you get the right one. Don't get the wrong one, because
remember it said if
just
the
don't get it.
balancer has no marks in it, then it's internal. And if it's
that's right. If it's like a half moon shape, it's external. But if it's smooth, it's internal. Some weird thing. So you can look into that. There's a thread online that is like one of the first things that comes up. So I am going to continue to work, and I'll pick up here in just a second. There's the pan, by the way. It's still dripping under there, but you know, it's not too bad. It's dripping quite a bit. It's okay. So transmission's up here. We'll go under here really quick. This, by the way, is so, like, I've had cars up in the air a lot, different cars, dad's car, grandpa's car. This right here is so unbelievably strong. I was so surprised at how strong that piece of wood was. So it's still dripping, but we'll go like this. We'll go under here and make sure not get any on my camera. So Just to run you guys through, the drain plug is here, I do believe, for the tranny. So you'll just get that. This whole chunk's coming off. Where did that just come from? Oh. So, lots of disconnecting. This right here is a, like a holster to hold this up. One thing you're gonna make sure you wanna do is before you drop this out, you wanna make sure that up there you take the ow, I hit myself, that hurt. This is dirty under here. You're gonna wanna make sure you get the top of the clutch, the shifter. You're gonna wanna unscrew that. They just come off. It's pretty simple. You wanna make sure you take that off so when you drop it out, it doesn't rip the sheath in there, and those things are expensive. I don't know how much those sheaths are, those like leather sheaths, but they're expensive and they're hard to get off. They can be. So, oh, by the way, I'm gonna replace these. You know, you might look and see, my dad was telling me if they have APR studs or something. I can't remember what he exactly said, but I rattled on these quite a bit and they're quite rusty. So we'll see. I may not, I don't know. Alrighty, so we're back. I have you guys in my actual hand now, so I don't have the tripod on there. So got back from eating. I got a stick because I need to clear some cobwebs out from under there. Hopefully I don't get bit by a black widow. It's a possibility though. That will really suck, but I think next I'm going to wiring, or no, starter. So the starter has to come off as well. I forgot to tell you guys that. So I'll show you where the starter is real quick. It's kind of an odd spot and it's pretty big, but you have to get it off. So yeah, I'll show you guys that right now. Anyways, so if you're looking at the front of the car, your starter is going to be on the right side. Now I'm looking down the car. Starter is right here. I can get to focus on the actual starter. Focus, there we go. So you're gonna need to get this off. So I'll lift the cobwebs in there. Hold on 1 second. I'm not getting bit by no black widow dog. Up there, there is a lot of spider webs up there. So, anyways, get the starter off. Basically, that's the next step. All right, to show you guys the drive shaft. Just show you the transmission goes from here to back here. So basically, next step after after starter, if you've already done that, it's going to be getting the wiring harness unplugged all the way up into there. I don't know how complicated that is, but I'm going to do it. So yeah, I will get back to you guys in a little bit once I get the starter off. There's an ant on the ground, so I'm gonna hop onto this and start pulling it out, and I'll catch you guys when I have it out. Alright, so it's definitely later. Got the starter off. Holy crap. You talk about a hard puppy to get off. Also, sorry about it being in such an odd color. I had my camera on the wrong thing. So, here's the starter. There's the car. Sits in there like this. Like this, to be exactly. So there's going to be a bolt on the bottom that you're going to want to get off. One on the top. And then these two you get off. I don't know what size this was. I can't remember what size this is. For these, I just used a crescent wrench. You know, pretty easy. It's always nice to have a crescent wrench. So make sure and clean this up nice and clean. And put it back on. The teeth are still good. They're a little worn, but not too bad. Other than that, yeah. Number 2's out. Now, wiring harness is next. Really quick, I'm gonna go in and undo the shifter dealio, so get that off there. Other than that, I'm gonna continue to work getting the wiring harness off, and because that's not that hard, you just find your way around the wires and disconnect them. and do the little shifter thingy. So I will be back. I'm tired, but I'll be back. Peace. Alrighty guys, so taking this apart was a little more complicated than I thought. This, thankfully you just can pop that off and set it right there. Taking this off was what I was talking about. Got a hair in my mouth, sorry. So you're gonna need two 10mm, and this should just come right off like that. Set that down the floorboard, and then this now, make sure you slide this sheath to where it won't get caught. So pretty sure wiring's done. Really quick, let me turn this music off. Okay, so pretty sure got all the wiring. I'll hop under here and show you guys really quick what I'm talking about. Focus up. There we go. For some reason it does not want to focus. That's odd. So these, and then these down here, there we go. Those all connect to this, and O2 sensors here, so that's all good and dandy. What's going on, everybody? It's that guy in that suit, aka Tyler. It's the next day for this video, so last night worked super late, got all the wiring off. You need to take, I forgot about this thing, you need to take this little shield off here, and this has the parking brake inside of it, something like that. So you just disconnect that. You have to get a screwdriver and like hold it and then pull it out, and then you have to actually pull it out of the transmission block, which is kind of hard, but you actually do that with this little thingy here. It sits like this with the car like is behind me. Actually sits like, lose it, sits like that, and then you pull it out. Also pulled this out. This sits under there like this to hold the back of the tranny up. So what I did is I just put a jack right here to keep it up for right now. So I'm gonna have to take the Y pipes off, which I really didn't want to do because they're so hard to take off. They're so annoying. I don't know if they've been installed correctly on your car or not. They just suck to get off. So I have to get those off. I figure I can get them off and just like pressure wash them anyways. It's whatever, it's not that big of a deal, but you know, I'll do it. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm gonna get on that, taking the Y pipe off. So with the Y pipe, there's 4 bolts up front, 2 on each side, and then 2 in the back, and you just rattle this off with an air gun. I mean, if you have a breaker bar, that's gonna be hard, but just so if you have an air gun, do it with an air gun. But other than that, make sure you disconnect. If you haven't already done the wiring and all that, go back in the video and watch that. But disconnect all the wiring, disconnect all the O2 sensors. Don't break them. On Rock Auto, they're $22 to $39, so they're not a ton, but they're still, you know, I wouldn't want to just spend that money like, oh, accidentally. So yeah, make sure you disconnect all that, and I will see you guys in a little bit after I get done taking this thing off and set it out here with the rest of the stuff. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. What's going on, everybody? It's been a while since I've recorded like a couple of solid hours. The transmission's out. Wow. It was hard. So I'm gonna go over pretty much everything that needs to come off. So one I don't have out here, drive shaft first and foremost. Second, this has to come off. This thing has to. The Y pipe has to come off. You just got 2 bolts here and here, here and here, and then here and there. I was able to break these with just a hand wrench. Some of you might not be able to. O2 sensors are there, and there. If you have any of those that are bad that you know of, replace them. They're like $23 to $32 each. Bell housing. This is the top of the motor. If you strip these out, you're screwed. You have to drop the motor out in order to get these, so do not strip them out. So what I ended up having to do was, so this conceals clutch plate, clutch from flywheel, that does. So what I ended up having to do, this is the tranny, by the way. It's quite a small tranny actually. I was able to just like lift it up by hand. So the back of the bell housing goes here, 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 and here. So you just take these off and then pull this off first. Do it carefully because it can get kind of heavy. Pull this whole thing off, get that out of there. You have to take these brackets off. I already showed you guys that. This is how the bracket goes, except for it would be upside down, you know. So these actually attach to the tranny, these attach to the unibody. So over here, you have that one, that one, that one, and that one. Those attached to that. Take the ignition off. I already showed you guys that. That you take off. Sorry, I'm just really tired. So this thing, as you pull the tranny out, this will kind of fall out. I would recommend replacing this because it seems like it goes bad pretty often. This whole thing, this plate. Okay, so it goes in order. So this is the first thing you're gonna come to if you're watching this video. You just take these out. This should have the same size bolts. This should have the same size nuts or bolts. Yeah, sorry, bolts as the don't speed in neighborhoods, please. If someone pulled out, that guy would be like creamed because he was just going like 60. So, sorry, public PS something essay. Don't speed in neighborhoods. That should have the same bolt size as I believe. It should have the same bolt size that. So there's bolts on this that are here. I have to look at this thing. Here, here, and here. So here, here, and here. These two are long. Sorry, these two are long. This guy should be a shorter one for you. I don't know. So these should be the same size as those guys all around that. So that and that were kind of hard to get off. That sits inside that. I just took a screwdriver and really gently just kind of popped it off. Then this will be next. These are these funky looking guys right here. Let me see if I can get one for you. It's always good to label stuff. They're these odd looking ducks. Hold on, let's see if I can get a top. Kind of strange looking. So you just take those off. Those were bigger size. They go here. Those were bigger, so they go right here. This thing, I also had to get a screwdriver and pop this off. This thing's heavy. If this thing, do not let this fall on you. You get effed up if that falls on you. That thing hurts. It like got my nail and darn near took my nail off. So then you should be able to just pull this off. This is metal. Be careful with that because I don't know how much it is. There is a seal on the back, so be careful not to damage the seal in any way, shape, or form. But that's pretty much it. So real quick, I'll go over what you actually need to take off here. So I'm giving you guys like actual instructions because the video I watched was just like music dubbed over them like doing it in fast forward. So sorry if I'm dirty and my hair's screwed up. I've been under a car for, I don't know, a while. So you're gonna need both metric and SAE. This has a weird like combination of them. I don't know. Don't ask. I got brake dust all over me. When you are taking that off, make sure not breathe the brake dust or get it in your eyes because brake dust has asbestos components in it and it will screw you up and give you cancer. So if you really do care, wear a mask. Mine was pretty caked to the side so it didn't come off in really dusty amounts. So first thing you're gonna take off, so I'm gonna give you guys the order. So if you're like just watching this, like if you're sitting here, you haven't even started yet, you might be in the middle of it and you're wondering, first thing you have to take off is, drivetrain. First thing you take off, drivetrain. Second thing you have to take off is the Y pipe. Now if you're slow about it and you just kind of work around, the Y pipe's pretty easy to get off. Make sure you don't break any of the O2 sensors because again, they're 20 to 30 bucks and really no one wants to spend that much money, but So first drivetrain, second Y pipes, third is going to be ignition down there. So the ignition is going to come off. The ignition's pretty easy. It's just got 2 wires in the back that you unscrew with little nuts, and then those pop off and it comes right out. Then after that is going to be this right here conceals a little a little thingy on the tranny. So it's the part that engages that other piece. So you'll just disconnect that. It's kind of easy. You get a screwdriver, pop it out, pull it, and then you actually have to get a little pin, pull the little pin out. The pin looks like this right here. You slide this little guy out here. This is how you get the plate off, this little guy. And then you slide this off with a screwdriver and pull it through. It is wire, so be careful you don't break the wire inside, or else you'll be getting a new whatever that thing is. So don't break that. Next up is going to be, after that, then you're going to take wiring off. Wiring's pretty easy. It's held on via these little crappy like plastic things that don't even hold. So take those all off. Next up's going to be going in your car and unscrewing the, I showed you guys this earlier in the video, I think, or in the previous video, I'm not sure, but taking the actual shifter piece off so it can drop out and not get caught. That'll be next. Then after that, you're able to actually start on the transmission. So, so you need to get a jack under there, then you need to take that bracket off, that mounting bracket for the back. If you have a V8, I think there's a mounting bracket up front. I'm not sure. I'm on the V8s, they're different. But they're similar, they're different, but they're a teeny bit similar. So take the bracket off. That should be 6 bolts that you should have to take off. Air gun, pretty easy. If you don't have an air gun, that sucks. I feel bad for you, but take those off, make sure you have a jack under it. Then you're gonna take the ones that connect the tranny to the bell housing off, because the 2 on top you can't get to. I mean, you may be able to do it by some miracle, but if you screw them up, you are screwed. Like, I'm not joking, you're like screwed. You can't get a grinder up in there to grind them off. They're like way, way up in there, like right next to the body. So don't screw that up. So do it the way I did it and just take the transmission off the bell housing. Then when the tranny's out, be careful, have someone help you. Do not do the transmission by yourself. You could really screw yourself up because it's heavy. Like, it's not really, really heavy, but it's definitely like got some weight to it. So make sure you have someone under there. The way I did it, I had someone hold one end with a jack and I held the other end. I just moved the jack over and let the jack down, and it let the back out and then pivoted, and I just pulled it out. Came out really easy. Then you move on to the bell housing. Take the bell housing off. That's another simple one. I can't remember how many bolts that has. It's quite a few. They should be pretty, like, fairly long, like about that big. So take that off. Bell housing comes off. Next is going to be clutch plate. Like I said, take that off. Should have the same size as the bolts that hold the that like panel together, because in order to get the clutch plate, in order to get the bell housing off, you have to take those off because it mounts. Weirdness. So that comes off. Excuse me, my allergies are really bad. Next, after that, the clutch should just come out. The like actual clutch piece should just come out by itself. Should just kind of fall out. Flywheel, next up, take the flywheel off. Flywheel, you know, is heavy. Don't let it drop on you. I screwed my nail up so bad. And you know, I'm not like being a woman, but dude, it hurt. It like got my nail and full and like took my hand down with it to the ground. So it's heavy. Once you take that off, you're finished. And I'm glad to say you're finished. If you're watching this right now and it's done. So I encourage you guys to like listen, pause the video, go do it, come back, listen, pause the video, go do it. Don't just do it all in one batch. I mean, it's up to you. I don't know how you guys work, but now you can order your brand new stuff from Rock Auto. I'll give them a free shout out. Not sponsored by Rock Auto at all, but they are pretty cheap. Get a light and flywheel. Holy smokes, dude, that flywheel weighs like 40 or 60 pounds. That flywheel's so heavy. Rotating mass is a big thing on cars, so make sure you get lighter rotating mass. Makes the car perform better, go faster, something like that. It does all those things, so make sure you do that. Other than that, I'm gonna end this video. Now you can put it all back together, same way it came off, same order it came off in, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.